Welcome. It's the Matic. It's the illest blurred in the land. Welcome back to Ill Blur Matic. Let's thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing. Let's get into today's new video. Today's new video is something that I am a little disappointed by the decision. I mean, they've been talking about it ever since the situation that took place with this actor. And maybe they just realized they don't want to take another huge risk with the studio. And I'm talking about Marvel Studios. So let's get into it. Jonathan Majors is no longer playing Kane the Conqueror. And Doctor Doom is the next big villain for the MCU. Woo! This one hurt me. This one hurt me, man. I was surprised that Marvel did not want to continue forward to have Jonathan Majors to play Kane the Conqueror. Very disappointing. Honestly, I think he was definitely by far up there with Josh Brolin when it came to being one of the iconic villains off the Kane the Conqueror as well. Disappointing, man. I'm disappointed in a way. I'm surprised, but I can't be completely surprised as Marvel's been trying to decide if things turn out the way they did with Jonathan Majors and his ex-girlfriend with the false accusations. What is something else that we should do in order to prepare to find another MCU big villain? Definitely unfortunate. I think Marvel fumbled the ball. Let me just explain something to you guys. Marvel gave him more money after Ant-Man Quantumania, and I think overall that was like a poor choice because at the end of the day, he had not worked on some of this stuff anyway. The other thing is too that I found out that was really interesting about this is that the Kane Dynasty movie that originally Jonathan Majors was gonna be the next villain in that movie has officially been scrapped. I'm like, wow. I guess Marvel just didn't want to take a risk with this movie. And it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? I did want to see that after I saw that scene in Ant-Man Quantumania. I said, man, I would like to see the Avengers face off this next villain together in a movie. But it seems like maybe Bob Iger told them, like, hey, look, y'all, we got to cut some more y'all Marvel content out. You know what I'm saying? They've canceled quite a bit. And the thing is, like I said before, production's costly, actors is costly, visual effects is costly, and maybe they just didn't want to spend a big money budget for a superhero genre movie. And that's understandable because we have to remember, you guys, Disney is in $1 billion debt themselves. Like, they're going to dig themselves into a bigger debt. And now this is going to be a payoff, well, a tax write-off, for their company. Honestly, I think Doom is a good choice. We haven't seen Doom as the big villain for a Marvel Cinematic Phase. Speaking of live adaptation, we've seen him being used before in the earlier 2000s. Fantastic Four movies, of course, great. I have nothing against that. But maybe it is time for him to debut again for that, because we all know that the Fantastic Four live adaptation is coming, and probably what Marvel is like kind of gearing to go towards is introducing Doctor Doom, the arch nemesis of the Fantastic Four, in the Fantastic Four's new movie. Then going forward in the next two phases, he will be the final villain for the two phases before this whole reboot that they got going on. So I'm thinking Secret Wars may be the reboot that they have in mind, where we see the Avengers come back and not all the same Avengers. All right. Curious to see how this is going to do. There are people that they are looking at to play Doom for the moment, but we don't have a Doom actor just yet. Honestly, I think Doom is a good choice. Good choice, by the way. They could even use Mephisto. I mean, they've been hinting that since Loki, and I was like, so y'all not gonna like use Mephisto for that? Nah. um, I'm just surprised, man. It seems like Marvel's moving forward. They just probably said, "Look, Jonathan Majors, we don't need you anymore going forward. We're gonna scrap your movie anyway." It's a very weird choice when it comes down to it, because I saw potential in maybe him being a decent villain actor going forward in this multiverse phase. I don't even think it's the multiverse phase no more. You tell me in the comments, guys, is this still the multiverse phase going forward, even though Jonathan Majors is not a part of Kane the Conqueror's role anymore? But then I'm like, maybe it was just timing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just didn't want to invest more time in watching this case go forward with Jonathan Majors as girlfriend. But I really hope not Kang. I really hope that Doom works for this movie. I hope it's a decent choice for Doctor Doom. Only time will tell if Doom is going to be an impactful villain, and not just impactful, but just the phase that they're gonna have for Doom, because we don't know. Because after all, they could scrap that the Kane Dynasty movie and it'll be an Avengers Doom movie. I could be wrong. I could be right, when I think about it. But you guys tell me in the comments, are you surprised that Jonathan Majors is no longer going to be Kane the Conqueror? My next question is, how do you feel about Doctor Doom being the next big villain for the MCU? It's interesting, very interesting choice. I like the choice. I mean, he's another iconic villain from Marvel. But it's a blur. Living the world, guys. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, and also fully watching the video, guys. Have a wonderful day, guys.